Yeah. Yeah. Can you believe they told me that I would never make it? Now we smiling in their faces, smiling in their faces.
Did you see where Isaiah said that if you switched Kevin Durant for Michael Jordan, that Kevin would have 6 rings?
They wouldn't have 6, but they would have a handful.
How are we gonna sit here and say he can dominate an era that's more physical with less help when he's had more help offensively and still can't get the job done?
Speaking of records, Kevin Durant passed Michael Jordan on the all-time scoring list. How did you feel seeing one of the current legends of the game passing up one of your rivals?
Love it. I love it because he...
He's such a hater, bro. I love it.
He keeps elevating the game. It goes to a standard. And I don't love it because he passed MJ. Shit, a lot of people done passed him along the way, so it ain't just like this is the first time he's been passed. And I said this to Kevin Durant, and I'm going to say this to all of you sitting on the panel. And I said to Kevin Durant, hey, if you would have played back in our era and they put you in the triple post at that mid-post area and they took Michael Jordan out and you played with Pippen and you played with Kukoc and you got to run into the mid-post, shit. Would he have won 6 championships? Absolutely.
Right there, right? Bro, I got the take of Max Kellerman cooking Rich Paul on this because Rich Paul, of course, is siding with Isaiah Thomas. But let me just remind you something. When you play these hypothetical situations, right, you have to entail that everything transferable can't be transferable without anything changing for that era. So if we're going to talk about that, right, I got more stuff to get with this video. But like, let me just remind you guys, KD's frame and build. Do you think he's going to be able to get positioning in the low post? His frame, his weakness, that's been notorious for the draft combine. He wasn't even able to lift like 140 or 160 or something like that. Like, he's not a strong guy. He's not physical. When you play physical with him like Boston did, he got swept when he had Kyrie. So Kevin Durant has played with Kyrie. He's played with Steph Curry. He's playing with James Harden. He's played with all these prolific scorers. Scottie Pippen is not a prolific scorer. How do you expect to put points on the on the scoreboard, bro? Kevin Durant is not that guy. I like Kevin Durant, but let's be real. But I got more to get into, so let's get into the take where Max Kellerman is absolutely cooking Rich Paul.
Did you see where Isaiah said that if you switched Kevin Durant for Michael Jordan, that Kevin would have 6 rings?
They wouldn't have 6, but they would have a handful. I don't think they'd have as many as...
But the point he made was, in the triangle, with that supporting cast...
But also, Kevin Durant, to Michael Jordan's point, Kevin Durant would not exist as the kind of player that he is now had he played then. First of all, if you're 7 feet tall, they're going to ask you to do different things then than they let you do now. Secondly, no one's going to let you shoot from 3 as much as they did post Steph Curry. As a result, his 3 is not going to be as sweet, right? Like there are all kinds. Now he'd be better at certain other things but the point is he would be, of course, if you put someone with Scottie Pippen and Horace Grant and Phil Jackson and later Dennis Rodman, and he's a super great player, they will win some championships. I don't think they go 6 for 6, but I think
they win 3 or 4.
Yeah,
but you made a point. And back in those days, this was a big issue. If Kevin Durant actually showed up as Kevin Durant, 7 feet,
you pluck him out of now and drop him there.
Yeah, but
people would be like, this is from outer space.
Yeah, but my question is, will the general manager and will the coach be smart enough and not be so stuck in their ways to say, no, so what, he's 7 feet. He has the skill set of a guard. I'm going to play him here.
Most would screw it up.
They would screw it up.
Most would screw it up.
Yes, they would.
Shaq talks about, you see like why Shaq likes Giannis so much is because he sees himself in Giannis. Like people think of Shaq as a 350-pounder nowadays. Yeah. When Shaq first came in, he was slim. I mean, he was big and strong, but he was athletic. He could handle for a big guy. Yeah. He could pass. He could like Shaq watches Giannis and goes, man, I wish they would have let me play like that.
The point I'm trying to say, the hypothetical situation, right? It's such a freaking stupid conversation to have because we know for one fact, right? And anybody who's played basketball out there who's watching, do you remember, if you were born in the 80s or the 90s, do you remember when if you were the center on a team and you try to dribble the basketball because you were tall at your age, they were like, give the ball to the point guard. Bro, there was position basketball. It was position basketball. It's not positionless. So if you were tall, you were down on the low block, you were down on the post. Even if you were 6'2", and everybody else was 5'5", 5'6", you're the center, bro. So even though after high school and then during high school you will be a guard, you are not allowed to use your guard skills out there on the court. Anybody who's played basketball can understand that. It's simple. It's simple as hell. So let's get into a little bit more of these hypothetical situations, right? So if we just want to include, dropping Kevin Durant in that era, let's not forget the physicality of that era. Kevin Durant is not a physical basketball player. He's a finesse basketball player. If somebody was able to guard, can you imagine Bill Lambert switching off into Kevin Durant, throwing a ball right into his back, bro? Kevin Durant is not going to be able to be effective, bro. He's not a physical guy. In the 90s, you can hand check, you can move a player. Do you know how light Kevin Durant is compared to a guy that would be his height in the 1990s? The kind of food they was eating in the 90s, bro. None of this stuff with processed soy and all this stuff. They eating real food. So we going to drop this dude and his era and expect him to dominate. And then what this conversation is basically saying is we can actually say Kevin Durant is just as good as Michael Jordan. Because that's what you're saying, because you go to 3 straight finals, retire, and then go to 3 straight finals. You think Kevin Durant's capable of doing that with his best guy averaging 17 points? He played with Steph. He played with Clay. Played with Kyrie. He played with Russell. These guys are more prolific scorers than Scottie Pippen. Scottie Pippen was the defensive player. He can put the ball in the hole, but let's not act like this. We can ask this guy every night to go get 30. He's not capable of that. It's not his role. We're asking Kevin Durant to do something that he's never done in his life, and that is lead a team, being the best player on the team. And you can say what you want about that Warriors team. Steph Curry was still the best player on the team. Kevin Durant didn't have to lead nobody. All he had to do was shoot the ball and catch the ball within the flow of the offense. But when it comes to him being on his own squad, he's never proved to anybody in the world that he's capable of winning any type of championship, being the best player and leading the team as the number one guy. And that's it. There's no great supporting cast. There's a few guys on his team that are okay or that can handle the ball. That will be considering like the Chicago Bulls, because Scottie Pippen is not who you think he is on the offensive side of the basketball. And if that's the case, then I don't see Kevin Durant ever winning 6 rings, ever at all. And these whole hypothetical situations seem to always go at Jordan and Kobe, and it never fails, man. The whole T-Mac thing. T-Mac, you think you can win as many rings playing with Shaq? Okay, so let's not forget everything. If we're gonna play hypothetical situations, let's play into this fact that you can't stay healthy. So you expect 3 straight finals runs with your body holding up? Going to game 7s against the Kings, the Spurs, the Blazers, all that stuff. You think you can hold up 3 straight years? Nah, I don't think you can. So let's stop playing hypothetical when it comes to the positive things that you want to display, and let's look at the whole picture. Because listen, there's a lot to the picture that you don't want to talk about because you want to make your case be known. You want to, tell the world that you're this good, you're that good. Bro, listen, Kevin Durant has played on plenty of great teams, bro. Plenty. He has Devin Booker, his teammate, Chris Paul as the teammate, Bradley Beal. That's just the Suns. Then he goes to Brooklyn. He gets he gets James Harden. He gets Kyrie Irving. Then he played with Russell Westbrook. He played with James Harden. He played with Serge Ibaka. And then he played with Klay Thompson. Then he played with Stephen Curry and Draymond and them folks. How are we gonna sit here and say he can dominate an era that's more physical with less help when he's had more help offensively and still can't get the job done? It's simply not possible. The hypothetical situation is just Isaiah Thomas hating on Michael Jordan. And that's all it really is, folks. So these are my thoughts, ladies and gentlemen. What you guys think of this? If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe and make sure you follow us on Instagram at Tyler Rose TV. We'll see you guys in the next video. Y'all have a good weekend or a good rest of the week. What it was today, Thursday? Oh, it's not even Friday. But I'm going to see y'all, man. Take care. Peace.